right, we are live.
Yeah.
Welcome to Combination Trivia, and
thanks for coming.
And if you've been here before, welcome back. And if you're here for the first time, we are so glad you're here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tonight, we're talking about Invincible. Happy Prime Day, y'all.
Hey.
So Invincible is actually set up in the Image universe, and it was first published as a comic book, as a graphic novel in 2003, and wasn't adapted by Amazon until 2021?
Yeah, something like that. Sounds
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And the first season has concluded. The second season's supposed to start any minute. There are all sorts of previews and announcements at San Diego Comic-Con. So now we're going to take a minute and talk about Invincible.
Yeah.
And you can take a minute and give us a like and give us a follow and subscribe and tweet and heart and ring the bell. And exactly. And, when you see the email, etc., send us an email about a book or a topic or something you'd like us to cover. And if you're playing along now live, and I hope you are, this is the moment where you go to the website or you scan so you get our wonderful multiple choice game up.
Yes. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Because even if you don't know tons, it's multiple choice, y'all. You have like a 25% chance of getting it right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And it's not like these are PhD questions,
They are PhD questions. They are. All right, you ready?
Sure. Let's go. I'm primed.
10 seconds. Invincible. What's his real name?
It's not Vince? No.
That would actually be nice.
Wouldn't it, though? Yeah.
And it's pretty much in keeping with one of it.
Vinny Invincible?
Todd, tell me. What's the answer?
It's Mark Grayson, not to be confused with that other kid.
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson.
Yes. So, as we said, the Invincible series was first published in 2003, but the Invincible character first appeared in a preview as part of Savage Dragon 102, which was 2002, right?
Yep. Yeah.
A
little bit of a prequel crossover thing, bringing him into the universe.
Again, part of the Image universe, and that's a good thing. And Todd, for no additional points, do you know some of the other stories and books and titles that Invincible has appeared in?
Besides Savage Dragon, he was in The Astounding Wolfman, which is also a Kirkman book. Dynamo 5, Noble Causes, which is all about all sorts of superheroes. And The Pact. And The Bomb Queen.
Yep. All of those.
It's
a busy little universe over there.
It is. Yes.
But this is our fella Mark Grayson.
Mark Grayson, yep.
Not to be confused with Dick. So Invincible is Mark Grayson. Mark Grayson is Invincible. And Invincible's father is...
Invisible? No.
Yeah.
Dad. I like to call him Dad. But...
Todd?
Yes.
What's Invincible's father?
He's Omni-Man. Not to be confused with the other one.
Yeah. Prime Man would have been great, but it's Omni-Man. And yes, I think that originally, and Omni-Man has a really interesting backstory that we're not going to unpack, but originally, yes, Omni-Man was all one word, capital M, no hyphen, but then it sort of evolved to have the hyphen. So we're keeping the hyphen. Spider hyphen man. We keep the hyphens.
Right.
Hyphen respect.
Because you want to think of him as a man of omnis, not an omni that's a man.
That's exactly that was all that I got. So Omni-Man is like Superman, no hyphen, except he's nothing like Superman, starting with the lack of hyphen there.
Yeah.
Omni-Man has the incredible strength, the speed, the almost invulnerability, and he flies. A man who can fly.
Yeah.
Unlike Superman, Omni-Man, and then yes, his son Invincible, this does not come from the yellow sun. This just sort of comes. It's just like it's the way they are.
Genetics, I think.
So, and also, unlike Superman, I mean, it's just he just seems to be like a really strong, durable person. He doesn't have the heat vision. He doesn't have, the breath. He doesn't have the what was it the bad breath, the ice breath, or etc.
The icy halitosis, the heating halitosis, all of that. Yeah.
Exactly. And am I right that, like, depending on who's writing it, every so often, Superman has like bionic eyes and bionic hearing, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like something I don't think Omni-Man has. He's just a big, strong guy who can fly, which isn't bad.
Right. That's the way we picture most of our fathers, right?
My dad can't fly, y'all.
Nope, neither.
And his mother.
Yes.
Who's his mom?
Martha? No.
Everybody else's mom's named Martha.
Yeah, they were nice and a little more original. They was something a little different.
Yep. What's his mom?
They picked Debbie. Yep.
Debbie. Now, the way I understand it, Omni-Man was hanging out on Earth, being a superhero, and he met he saved Debbie, and he fell in love.
Yeah, isn't that nice and romantic?
Yeah, I mean, which is, again, happens a lot in the comic books. A girl gets saved and falls in love, but they got married, they had a baby.
Yep.
Aw. And again, and Sandra Oh voices the Debbie Grayson in the TV series.
Yes.
And
everybody's favorite gruff guy, J.K. Simmons, is Omni-Man. Mr. Invincible.
Yeah, he also plays J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man universe.
Yes. And Commissioner Gordon in the DC universe these days. It's just like...
He's busy.
He's busy. Yeah.
So,
when he's not busy throwing drumsticks at Reed Richards' head,
And Invincible is voiced by Stephen. I'm going to mispronounce Stephen Yeun. I'm going to mispronounce the last name, but he's done a lot of genre work, a lot of voice work.
Yep, and a good long stint on The Walking Dead, also by Robert Kirkman.
So there you go. It's good to know people. It's good to have friends. It's good to have friends like Todd.
Mm-hmm. Or Robert Kirkman if you can get him.
I wouldn't. But Omni-Man is originally from what planet? It's not Krypton.
It's not. Because although he's got Superman-like powers, he is not actually Superman, and that's not the planet. Nope.
Yep.
Nope. He's from the planet Viltrum.
Yep. And again, unlike Superman, he's from another planet. Unlike Superman, that planet's still around-ish.
Yeah.
There's still that, he's not the last of his race. There's still a race of folks, etc.
Yeah.
And in this book, according to Omni-Man, the Viltrumites, they're a race of advanced people who just benevolently are going around trying to find other planets and other civilizations just to help them out.
Yeah. Show up in different places. And Omni-Man ended up on Earth.
And he fell in love with Earth, and he fell in love with Debbie, and he decided to stay forever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that mustache, It's apparently it's like everyone on the planet apparently has it.
Well, all the men.
That you know.
Yeah, right. There might be some women on the planet that have it too, but we're not going to say
Mm-hmm.
the touchy subject. And
Now, all superheroes have a day job, or at least most of them do.
Mhm.
What Omni-Man's?
He's a general manager at the Omni Hotel. No, no.
No. Todd,
No.
what is he?
He's an author.
Yup.
Ironically, I
According
think
to
he
this
writes
book,
science fiction books.
well, according to the book, he's a semi-famous novelist.
Yes.
And do you how long does it take him to write a book?
Probably depends on how fast he can not break a typewriter doing it.
1 day.
Yeah.
1 day and about a dozen keyboards. 1 day.
Mhm. You know,
I
when you're
find
doing
that so
65,000
annoying.
words per minute, it's
I find that so well, until he breaks the keyboard.
right. I mean, that's the new keyboard. So.
I mean, even Superman, he needs to read a book 2 or 3 times before he retains it. But
Right. But I hear that Clark Kent over the Daily Planet is pretty fast typer too. So
it's like the fastest typist I've ever seen.
mhm.
That's a movie quote. Now, Dad's not the only one with a job.
Nope. It's a workaholic family.
Exactly. Mark has a part-time job where?
In food service, as is typical for,
Because they're the real superheroes.
yes. Making sure you get fries at that every time.
Okay. Todd, where's he work?
He works at Burger Mart.
Exactly.
No,
Now, it's
no.
Mark and his family, they don't really need the money. Mark's just there. I think he's there to sort of prove he's responsible, get a little extra cash.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't think his career at Burger Mart is going to last
No. Well, plan is to go off to college, probably.
exactly.
Like most teen heroes do. So
And again, Burger Mart, Burger Mart made it into the animated series.
yeah. Of course, if he follows in his dad's footsteps and gets the mustache, he might have to move over to Bob's Burgers to fit in. But that would
There
be
you
another
go.
crossover later.
And speaking of the opposite of fitting in,
Mm-hmm.
where Mark goes to school, there's a kid who's getting picked on. What's his name?
It's not Mark. Yes, there's always that one kid.
Actually, the bully does start to pick on Mark, and Mark doesn't have it. But who? Which is the kid?
That would be Steve White.
Steve White.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve is being pushed around by a bully who's about twice his size. And let's be honest, the bully's also twice the size of Mark.
Right.
But when the bully is being a bully,
Mm-hmm.
Mark doesn't stand for it.
Nope.
Which gets him in trouble with the principal. After all, Mark's not invincible.
No. But, you don't smack around your fellow schoolmates. So
now, first, Mark first develops his powers at what age?
Hint: it's while he's in high school.
Well, all these are technically high school ages.
Oh yeah, you're right. All right, that wasn't much of a hint. Sorry. But
What age?
And he was 17.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, Todd and I were talking about this. These days, it seems that if a character is going to get superpowers, they don't seem to get them until like the teen years, etc.
Right.
And that makes sense. But that wasn't always the case.
I mean, babies. They're just not
super
fun.
baby.
There were a lot of work.
Yep. There were tons, not tons, but there were decent number of stories about Super Baby and
Yes.
such. And all I'm saying is, I'm so glad I never had to change Super Baby's diapers. Can you imagine?
Yeah. And or Super Baby Spit Up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. But now they're all teenagers, so different
Yes.
kind of situation.
Which is always so much easier to handle is, somebody going through puberty and getting superpowers. Yikes.
Now, Mark
Mm-hmm.
goes to high school. What's
Yes.
the name of his high school?
Well, this might Urkel you a little, but it's Reginald Vell Johnson.
Okay, Reginald Vell Johnson is
Yes.
known for playing cops.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of cops.
Yes.
Reginald Vell Johnson played the LAPD Sergeant Al Powell in the Die Hard films and
Mm-hmm.
Carl Winslow in the show Family Manners.
Yeah.
Now, you know how the story arc is called Family Matters? Yeah.
Oh.
So Mark's high school was named after the Family Matters star,
Right.
Reginald Vell Johnson.
And
no one asked, did I do that?
No. But,
now, Todd,
yes.
I mentioned 2 times Reginald Vell Johnson played a cop for no additional points. Can you give me one more?
Yeah. He was a cop opposite Tom Hanks in Turner and Hooch, which is a great film, which also stars Scott Pollan, who goes on to play Red Skull in a really bad Captain America film, but we won't talk about that.
We talked about that already. Look at our Captain America thing.
That's true, we did.
Now, this is my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the name of the principal in this, on both the show and the comic book, is Carl Winslow.
Right.
Same name as the Family Matters character.
Mm-hmm.
And Carl Winslow is voiced by?
Let me guess. Reginald Vell Johnson?
Yeah. He's the actor who portrays essentially himself as a high school principal.
Yeah. Almost meta. Human.
Suffice it to say, this is a really dark book, ultimately, but they do enjoy a joke.
Yep. Some good little in jokes along the way.
Exactly. Now, Mark, he's becoming a superhero. He needs new clothes.
Yep. Gotta get an outfit.
Where do they go? Where does Mark go for a superhero outfit?
He doesn't go to Lord's London or Men's Warehouse.
Where's he go?
Gotta go to a specialist. In his case, Art Rosenbaum, superhero tailor extraordinaire.
Yep. Art is a friend of the Grayson family and is actually the one who supplied Omni-Man with his costumes, original costumes, etc. And yeah. And he's
voiced by Mark Hamill. Yet another.
Because of course he is.
Yes, of course he is.
And Art, his cover is running a regular tailor shop. So all I'm saying is the next time the tailor tells you it's going to be 2 weeks for a simple repair, maybe he's up to something.
Maybe it's because it takes superhero costumes get priority. It's for the greater good.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of your hem.
Yes. Hem.
All right. So hey, in the book, Mark meets up with which group?
Which teen group is this? It's the wonderfully named Teen Team.
Not to be confused with Tintin or Tintin.
Tintin. We all know and love, and but that's a Belgian character.
Yeah, but the Belgian character, and in Belgium they pronounce it Tintin, but like in Latino communities that becomes Tintin.
Right. And either way, it's not these days.
But we digress a lot. The Teen Team is a group of, teenage superheroes.
Wow.
Now, we've talked a lot in other shows about the fact that in the beginning of comics, the teenage superhero was pretty much the sidekick.
Yep.
With the obvious exception being
Star-Spangled Kid and Stripesy. Yep.
And
in
what was it? Check out our Stargirl show. But it was like 1958 when Legion of Superheroes came out, and that was pretty much the first teen group, superhero teen group. But
ironically, all inspired by Superboy, the grown-up super baby, not to be confused with the Omni-Man, who's not really Superman.
I'm confused. Anyway, so it was the 1958 Legion of Superheroes came out, but they didn't get their own book for years. It wasn't until the 1960s with the X-Men, the original book, which what the original X-Men with the blue and yellow uniforms, they were pretty much the first teen team, the first teen superhero team
with their own title.
Running, and they were the first that was, the first that was popular enough to get its own title.
Yeah.
And nowadays, the teen group is pretty much of a standard. There's the Teen Titans, and we did a show on them a while back. Who else we got?
The New Warriors.
We have
the Runaways. Young Justice. Young Avengers.
Dynamo 5, we already mentioned.
Yep. There was the Kid Commandos, which technically were a kid group way back in the day, but they had adult supervision, and they didn't wear costumes. They were just tough kids in the neighborhood. So
there you go. And then Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Right. Well, not to mention all the spin-offs and spoofs there was of those. My favorite being the adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters, but let's not get into that.
Let's not. And then the Authoriteens, and my favorite is actually Infinity Inc.
Yes. Which is the kid version of the JSA.
Yeah, it was basically all of the kids of JSA members found their own crew. Yeah. Anyway.
And they all show up in Stargirl.
Exactly. And hey, with that many teen groups running around, it was inevitable. Invincible is bound to run into somebody.
Yeah.
Which is nice because now he has superpowered friends his age.
Yeah. The clubhouse to go hang out.
And he ends up finding out that he goes to class with them.
Zoinks.
And he has physics class specifically with
go figure. Somebody with an atom in their name. Like Adam Eve.
Yes.
Yes.
Her real name is Samantha Eve Wilkins. And Samantha, like Mark, was born with certain abilities, although not because the parentage were from a galaxy far, far away. Adam Eve is super, super smart. Her first word was the chemical group of hydroxymethyl. Mine was cookie. And yours was what?
Dad, I think.
Aww.
Or shoe.
Mine was cookie. And she's got all these really great powers. She's got telekinesis. She can change matter, subatomic manipulation. She can fly. Energy blasts.
Do some force fields,
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, of course, I think Mark should ask her to be the lab partner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Study buddy, at least.
I always pick the smart girl to be the lab partner.
Smart girl's where it's at.
Or not.
Or the nerdy girls. Let's face it.
It's usually the same thing, but you know.
Now, in the book, Adam Eve is dating someone, not Invincible. Who's she dating?
Nope. Well, it's not the man of the hour, which would be Rex Tyler.
Who is it?
It's Rexplode.
Get it? Explode, Rexplode, get it?
Yep.
So
don't go listen to Taco Bell, that's all I'm saying.
Rexplode, whose real name is Rex Sloan, is the product of government experiments gone wrong.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And again, Rex can make things explode.
Yeah.
Charging kinetic energy, basically like molecular acceleration. And of course, all these, he's got increased strength, increased durability, increased agility. He like trained as a gymnast as a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Eve and Rex meet when like Rex was going off to commit a crime and Eve stopped him and rehabilitated him? Maybe.
Possibly.
But
depends
yeah, they met
in the book or watching the movie, but you know.
But when they met, sparks flew.
As long as it was only sparks, and you know.
Jokes don't get any better. Ever. But at least we don't sing.
Yeah.
Now in the book, there's another team member named
Dun, dun, dun.
Who is it?
Wonderfully exciting name of Robot.
So, Robot isn't a robot.
No.
But if you want to find out more, read the book. It's actually really interesting. And then, of course, there's Duplicate, who can duplicate herself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the thing that's interesting, though, is that Robot in the animated series is voiced by
Zachary Quinto, who does the voice or portrays Spock in the new Star Trek movies. So, you know, a lot of good practice talking in that.
And was Siler in the Heroes thing.
Right. Yes. He's played superheroes before. He's played emotionless voices before. Yep.
And in the book, Omni-Man talks about the fact that he's going to rely on the help from who is it?
The other major super team of the world.
See, Omni-Man talks about the fact that he has to take a day off, and he's like, gee, I hope that who can pick up the slack? Who is it?
Guardians of the Globe.
Yup. Now, if you're familiar... if you're familiar with the show, there's some true darkness in the show.
Yes.
And if you read the book, there's the darkness there too. And we say this because we don't want you walking into the show thinking, but
it's just a cute teenage comic, kid comic.
But there is some cuteness to it. There's light, there's humor, etc.
Yeah.
But. And there's always the Guardians of the Globe to help back you up.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Until there's not.
Well, there's always Guardians. It's just a question of which ones and how many. And,
Todd, you're killing me.
Try not to. All right.
Again, we are talking tonight about Invincible Family Matters. It is, if you're a fan of the Invincible animated series, you might want to check out the book. Certain elements, certain story points might be handled a slightly different, fleshed out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And the book would be fun.
As is typically the book versus the movie or the TV show.
Exactly.
More out of the book.
So the official blurb goes as follows. Discover the superhero series unlike anything else you've ever read. That's true. When Mark Grayson inherits superpowers at 17, it's a dream come true. Until he learns that being a hero isn't as black and white as the comic books he read as a kid. From visionary creators Robert Kirkman, who again, behind The Walking Dead, and Cory Walker, who did Science Dog, and Ryan Otley, the Amazing Spider-Man. So Robert Kirkman he's a comic book writer, a comic book creator, and he's had all sorts of success with Walking Dead. Did you know Walking Dead was a comic book first? And then this, and then probably other stuff too that Todd will tell you about, but I can't think of.
Like the Astonishing Wolfman, for one.
Exactly.
And helped with the noble causes, and I'm going to forget the other one. He's got a Western one too. He does.
And Cory Walker, who was the artist on this series, actually is involved as, I believe, the lead designer or some such on the animated show, in case you're sitting there looking at this artwork saying, looks a lot like the animated show.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
It's got a very similar look.
It's got a vibe. It's got a respect for the book. You might want to check it out.
Yes. Yes, indeedy. Good stuff.
All right. And tonight's winner is...
Return of...
Michael, of course. We got to figure out a prize.
Yes. Maybe we'll get him a gift certificate to Burger Mart.
There you go. Anyway, hey, happy Prime Day. Give us a like, give us a follow, send us an email. What would you like us to handle next?
Yes.
Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Tell us what we got wrong.
Yeah.
And above all,
read more comics.
All right.
Always good to read the comic. Always.